2, was this in fact some sort of freak accident? Had she been taking out the trash and then somehow slipped into the chute, which, by the way, when I lived in New York, I lived in many a buildings that had trash chutes. It's not that easy to fall into one of those. So that on the surface already, to me at least, feels impossible. And it becomes even more impossible when you consider that based on her injuries, Phoebe would have had to likely have gone down that chute feet first. Which tell me, how do you accidentally go from standing upright to then in a trash chute, feet first, falling down? I could maybe get on board with understanding, like, if she threw a bag in and it was stuffed because it was so big, so she leans into the chute and starts pushing it to try to force it down, and then somehow, even though I don't believe this could ever happen, pushes so hard, the weight of her, like she loses her feet from underneath her, and then she just gets sucked in. That already in itself feels possible. But I'd get more on board with that than I would of how does she accidentally fall feet first into a chute? Because chutes also, by the way, are usually at least, 2 to 3 feet off the ground where that little door opens and when you throw stuff in. So the math ain't mathin'. Now, the third question is, could she have taken her own life? And if so, in arguably one of the strangest methods that we have ever seen or covered on this podcast, which I know that your brain probably went like, there is no universe in which somebody ends their life this way by climbing into a trash chute. Fair, 100%. But that didn't stop the investigators. That didn't stop them from theorizing that. In fact, self-harm, it was actually one of their top theories almost immediately. Which that kind of brings me back to what I said earlier. Phoebe's case was never handled with the diligence that it deserved, and failures started the second that the first responders arrived. Now, the biggest mistake was refusing to let paramedics examine her at all. That single decision, it erased the chance of determining her time of death. Whether Phoebe died 5 minutes before help arrived or 5 hours earlier than help arrived, we'll never know. And that's not a minor oversight. That is foundational to any investigation. It establishes a timeline. It narrows suspects. It helps identify foul play or not. It's step 1 in every single case. Build the timeline. Get the time of death. And Phoebe never got it. Why, you might be asking? Because Sergeant Forster claimed that he didn't need the paramedics to check on her, that she, quote, looked deceased. And because he had 38 years of experience backing up his gut feeling, they all just needed to get on board with that. Which, experience does not replace procedure or science. And in this situation, it cost the investigation critical information.